You were designing a custom cart like in the film, what would it look like?
Ooh, it'd be a motorcycle, and it would have a kite. It would be able to fly, 100%.
Lamborghini.
Alright, so the Mario movie came out, and as y'all may know, I've been excited for this movie for a while now, and keeping up with pretty much everything about the movie. Because I've wanted an animated Mario movie like this since I was a little kid. So I saw the movie, and I gotta say, I freaking loved it! This movie is everything I would have possibly wanted in a Mario movie, with a few disappointing aspects I'll go into later, but the good outweighs the bad tremendously, I swear. First off, I just want to talk about the animation and how spectacular it was for Illumination standards. The characters don't have those weird sharp body proportions and match the Mario art style perfectly. And the locations are so detailed yet cartoony enough to feel like Mario. Now let's get into the characters. First off, Keegan-Michael Key was delightful as Toad. He was pretty minor in terms of stories, but I enjoyed his upbeat attitude and humor. Kinda reminded me of Perito from Puss in Boots. Charlie Day is so perfect as Luigi, embodying his timid nature perfectly. I just wish there was more of him in the film because I loved his brotherly bond with Mario. Speaking of which, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Chris Pratt was genuinely very good as Mario. There's a clever little reason as to why he sounds the way he sounds, and it won me over. He's also just very charismatic.
I got it locked in my
There's even times where I forgot it was even him. Some of his lines even sounded like Lou Albano, which is awesome. Seth Rogen Donkey Kong was actually very funny. Yeah, it's just his voice, but it strangely fits somehow. I mean, he voiced my favorite character of all time, so I had no doubt. He even does the Seth Rogen laugh, which works, and the whole audience, including myself, started laughing so hard. Look, I've loved Luma Lee ever since the first Mario Galaxy, being the adorable, upbeat shopkeeper Luma who sold you items. But when the movie turned him into a nihilistic little menace, I honestly loved it. It gave me some good laughs. Anya Taylor-Joy's Peach was awesome. She was less serious than I expected and had some goofy moments, which made her much more endearing. I love Peach's backstory as well, and it was so heartwarming and something I've wanted to see for years now. Also, as the movie goes on, the more hot she gets. What has got to be the highlight and king of the entire film was easily Jack Black's Bowser, who stole every scene he was in. Everything about his performance was just amazing. His manic energy was perfect for Bowser and even has intimidating moments. Bro even got a sensitive side and sings a song, Peaches, which is definitely making my Spotify rap. Also, please nominate it for an Oscar. The journey itself was pretty awesome, and to see that there were so much references, Easter eggs, and even cameos that I thought I'd grown at, but no! It made the movie so much more fun, especially as a Nintendo fan, and got some big reactions out of me. Easily the best part of the movie has got to be the score. Ryan Tyler crushed it in the score. Mixing in decades of Mario music with the original score was genius, and something I wish the Sonic movies did but failed at. The jokes were also pretty funny too. I'm about to talk about the stuff I didn't like in the movie, so I'll end on a negative spoiler, then followed up by some positive ones. So the movie moves at a very fast pace, which to me was pretty good, so no scene lasted too long, and the movie was never boring. However, that makes some scenes feel rushed, like when they're going on an adventure, they walk by Toastery and I'm like, I want to see more! I know this is positive, but the plot is very simple, which is good because Mario games don't really have that big of a plot, and the lore they did drop did satisfy me. Although the score is great, there's actually licensed pop music. Thankfully it's from the 80s. However, they're pretty hit or miss. No Sleep Till Brooklyn was honestly pretty badass in this scene, and although Thunderstruck was pretty dope, it could have been replaced. However, everything else did feel unnecessary, like Take On Me didn't fit too well, and I Need a Hero, movie thinks it's Shrek 2 for real for real. Cranky Kong was weird, dog! His voice just didn't match, and I know Fred Armisen can do better than this. However, there's one thing this movie does that is so disappointing I can't ignore. The post-credit scene. The first post-credit scene highlights my favorite part of the movie, but the second one is so anticlimactic. It got me like, Yoshi egg? Really? We already saw some in the movie, so it didn't fully pay off. It could have had Wario or Waluigi or even more valid Rosalina. I mean, Aluma's in the movie after all. It was right there! I get it's a reference to the old-ass Godzilla movies, but it was still pretty lame. I'm sorry. Anyway, let me just wrap up this video by just gushing over the great stuff in this movie, because, whoo boy, there's a lot. Spike looked nothing like I expected. Peach was bad as hell in the wedding dress, and with the ice flower. I love how Charles Martinet was a guy who's pretty much Jumpman, the original Mario, and also the bro's dad, which is just great. Punch-Out Pizzeria was dope, seeing all the pictures of the different Punch-Out characters, including my boy Glassjaw. Diddy and Dixie Kong showed up, and as well as my boy Chunky, he's not dead! The blue shell scene was raw as fuck. Pauline showed up for a bit, and she looked sexy. All the Nintendo Easter eggs were so fun. Baby Mario and Luigi! The climax and final fight was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. King Bob died! No! And that's as far as I'm gonna go. So yeah, I love this movie, and as a longtime Mario fan, it just clicked the more on a second viewing. I feel like Despicable Me 1 might be a bit tighter in terms of story and characters, but this is up there as one of the best Illumination movies. Trust me, it is not a high bar. It's almost symbolic how I waited years for this movie to happen, only for it to come out on my graduation year, as if Mario is leading me into adulthood. Damn, I know that might sound stupid, but I find it deep. Anyways, I give this movie an 8 out of 10. Anyways, I plan on making more reviews, but this is my second time doing so I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have an epic day.
No one told me there'd be jump scares in here. Holy shit.